Now, I don't want to get down on Tim Ferriss, but anytime I see him talking about his lifestyle and his routine, there seems to be a severe lack of women in the picture, right? Being able to know that at 9:06 you go to bed with your tonic, where does the sex and the hanging out with the chick fit into that exactly? I'm not so sure. It's a very individualistic and solo pursuit, a lot of this stuff, because it's really around optimizing the individual, which is all well and good, but it doesn't take into account our most basic and pressing needs beyond those of survival, which is community, which is feelings of significance, which is feelings of connection, and of course, which is feelings of sexual satisfaction and intimacy with a partner. In my mind, the absolute most important skill that a man can learn, whether he's going to stay in one city and have a normal-ish kind of life, or whether he wants to hit the road and be bouncing around the world, taking the best of what's available out there, the number one skill that a man must learn is seduction. It is not an optional skill. It is not a hobby. It is not something that you just pick up when you're a young guy to just get laid a bunch of times and then put down again. Because my definition of seduction competency is not hustling drunk girls into bed night after night in trashy one-night stands. Yeah, I mean, that may be an element of it, or that may be something that you go through at some point in your life. But seductive skill is the ability to have choice, is the ability to go and see that woman over there and go, okay, everyone looks at the back, there's no woman there, that one that I talked to once, not you, Liam. To go over there and make a good impression and try and get something started. Because without it, you are going to be living in scarcity. Most men, although they may live in a major metropolis, are essentially living in a small village when it comes to the choices they have with women. And they are choosing from a very, very small pool, and therefore the likelihood of finding the one or the right one for that time is non-existent, which means that they're often going to get into shitty relationships with girls that are not right for them. They may be right, the girl and he may be right for other people. Doesn't mean they're awful human beings, just means they're not right for each other. And so I've met a lot of these digital entrepreneurs who are lonely, right? Because they're doing all the stuff and it's working in the sense, okay, I've got the money and I've got muscles and I feel healthy, but here I am maneuvering around the world with a severe lack of actual purpose. So what I want to move on to is looking at how is it that you can develop social networks, friendships, and of course, relationships with people in the most effective 4-hour dating work week kind of way. Firstly, have a think about your best friend. And if anyone's there going, I'm like, well, go and make one. Yeah? How is it that you knew or you know that that person is your best friend? Does anyone want to say anything about that? How do you know? Yeah?
Through all the stuff that we've been through together.
Okay. Through all the stuff you've been through together. Let's look at that as a concept. On the other side, all of you have had a situation where you've been you've been thrown in with a bunch of people for work or a sports team or university or something like that, and you hang out with those people socially as well, and you find that within that group that there's some people you click with, and then so after work drinks or barbecues on Sunday or whatever people do when they're part of groups, and you have a friendship, and this friendship may last for years. But the moment that you move away, the season ends, or the university ends, or the reason for you guys to hang out together ends, so does the friendship, and you just waft off into Facebook, acquaintances. Why is it that you then you may have been with those people for many years. Why is it that you're not actually friends with those people as opposed to the best friend? Any quick idea?
The plane in which you both interacted inspired together.
Yeah. Okay, so the environment shifts and changes. But, I mean, my best friend and I live very, very different lives now. All right? He's a busker in Australia. Very good songwriter, singer, and plays music on the streets, and I'm me. Right? Yet, I still consider that person to be my absolute best friend. Now, the reason that I have such a strong relationship with that person is because of all the things that we did for each other. Right? It's all of the investments that we made in each other. And those were various types of currencies. So I'm going to talk to you guys about a concept I call the seductive economy, which is